The views expressed in this post are purely mine. They are not representative of anybody else but myself, unless others want to say that they agree. Now, I'm an Albertan. I'm a Canadian. Those are the same thing, because Alberta's in Canada. However, you want to know what I think? I think people who are separatists are not Canadian, by any means. I believe that any immigrant that comes here is more Canadian than a separatist. Yeah. I think all you separatists are sheep, actually. Every single one of you. Because you all believe that it's going to be some sort of paradise here. It's going to be some sort of sovereign nation. You think it's actually going to be sovereign. Venezuela was sovereign. Greenland's sovereign. Cuba's sovereign. Iran is sovereign. Ukraine is sovereign. What you guys don't seem to understand is that Danielle Smith and Donald Trump are tight. Like, tight. Danielle Smith is currently selling Alberta to the US for $500 billion. Yeah. To Trump. You know, the billionaire, rapist, cannibal, pedophile who is on the Epstein list, who's in the files, mentioned, what do people say, more times than Harry Potter's mentioned in the entire series, or something like that? More times than Jesus is mentioned in the Bible. Yeah. Now, I personally believe that anybody who has ever stepped foot on Epstein Island deserves to go back, all at the exact same time, every single one of them, and for nukes to be tested on the island at that same time. That's what I believe. Every single one of them needs to be wiped out. Every single one. Looking at you, Prince. Now, a lot of you cons are going to say that Carney's in the files. You're right. He is mentioned in the files. However, it's not the way that you believe. He was mentioned because of his position, not because he was ever on the island, or at least currently there is no evidence to say he was on the island. If something comes out where it proves that he was, well, guess what? He deserves to be on that island again. Currently there's no evidence to say so. It was strictly because he was in a position of power over in the UK or England or whatever, working at the bank. I'm pretty sure if you guys were to read that, I know you guys read at a second grade level, but I'm sure you can at least try to understand context, I'm sure you can at least try to read it and be like, oh, yeah, he was only mentioned. He wasn't, actually in a conversation with Epstein. He wasn't actually doing stuff. I'm sure you can try that. I hope you can. I hope. Now, at the same time, you guys try and say that Pierre was never mentioned, which, as far as I'm aware, is true. Do you want to know why? It's because he's inconsequential. It's because he did literally nothing as a member of parliament. He didn't pass a single bill. He didn't make waves. He didn't even make a name for himself. Not until he became the leader of the UCP. Right? Nobody knew him. Not a single person knew of him. Well, okay. His riding knew of him. Yeah, that's why he was never mentioned. He was never important enough for that. Just saying. On that same note, he's a shit leader for the UCP party. The UCP is never going to win with him in charge now. I hope people realize that. Just like that one dude a couple days ago now who just crossed the floor. And I know y'all are really, really pissed about that, but Keep in mind, he's the third one to cross the floor to go to Liberals. Number 3. What does that say? What does that say? What does that tell you? It tells you he's a shit leader. It tells you guys need some reform within your party. Actually, you know what? I know a lot of you are really, really, really pissed about crossing the floor in general. Let me let you on a little secret. Danielle Smith, Marlena Smith, crossed the floor twice. 2 separate times. Didn't see that one coming, did you? Y'all are such sheep. Pretty much everything you guys believe is fake, and y'all really need to start thinking for yourselves. Like, you need to start doing some research. You need to start looking at things, reading them, being like, okay, I read this. Let's see if I can find something else about it. Instead of just being, oh, yeah, I was told about this. It's true. It's true. It's true. You know? Yeah. The grass your shepherd is feeding you, you fucking sheep, is full of shit.